Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justin Hall. A lot of you guys may know me from Married at First Sight San Diego. Welcome to my podcast, Let's Talk Men and Emotions. Today I have three special guests. One, a familiar face you guys know, my brother Donnell, my sister Tyesha, she just lost connection, and then my cousin Faye. Tonight's topic is going to be a little bit about everything. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be real. It's going to be raw. So if you have sensitive ears, I suggest you turn off and have a good night. Let's jump in, guys. How y'all doing today?
What's up? What's up? What's up, little bitch?
What you just called me? Man, you gonna have me all over Reddit. They're gonna be like, his brother did it again. Called him a bitch. His brother did it again. You know, when Donnell called me a bitch on national TV, it reminded me of a tree and him just looking up saying, "You acting like a little bitch." And I wanted to kind of scoop down and be like, "Stand up, I can't hear you."
Swallow my eyes.
Hey, look, don't get mad at me for calling not the truth, baby. Yeah.
You say it's a real talk, so hey.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
Hey, you know what? I think it's that short man syndrome Donnell got.
But
Hey, I
Donnell
ain't
ain't
short,
short.
bitch.
He average height.
Well, man, yes,
Donnell
I am.
is
That's
short.
right.
Donnell 5'10" and a half.
I'm 5'10" and 3/4, punk ass
Bitch ass
boy.
I was Donnell height in 5th grade.
All right, let me tell you something. I knock your ass down to size.
I know that's right.
Roll Tide.
Man,
Roll Tide.
you know when I played basketball, bro. Roll Tide.
nigga.
You know when I played basketball, all the short people would talk all the most shit. They'd be like, "I dunk on you," and I'd just be looking at them like, "Stand up."
That makes sense. Stand up.
Oh my goodness! All right, so let's get into it. All right, so first off, let's talk about women creating a safe space for men to express their emotions.
Okay, let's talk about that. In order for a man to feel that, they got to know that woman. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, we as women, if we know.
Actually, hold up, let me stop. You just got my attention on something.
Okay.
You just looked at a woman, you know what I'm saying? Because that was a topic on my last episode with Roman and Gil, and we was talking about men complimenting men. So, sorry to cut you off, but let's jump into that, men complimenting men, because I got so much clapback, and I did an exclusive video that was released on YouTube with Courtney and Eddie, and I was sharing that it's really about the context of a compliment for a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For a
So,
woman
you know,
too.
being from a reserved
That's
state,
both. That's both. Not to cut you off, but that's both.
Hold up, Ty. Okay. So like being from the South, we all from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. I'm not even going to add my 2 cents in yet.
Okay.
I want to hear what y'all got to say.
Okay.
Let's hear from you first, Faye.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's do this. That way you can do what you got to do, Ty.
Me personally, I'm speaking for myself. I think it's okay for another man to compliment another man, but it's a fine line between a compliment and, I guess I would say, not necessarily coming on to a man, but coming on to a man, or a fine line between you complimenting me and me being uncomfortable. I'm gonna say that.
Well, just say attracted then, cause sometimes you can compliment me, but don't be attracted to me.
Being attracted to somebody,
Yeah.
right? Thank you, cuz. So with that being said, like it's okay to be like, hey, bro, that's cool. That I like that outfit. You know, like your drip, whatever the kids say these days. I like, that's fine. But for you to be just like, oh damn, or like you gazing into my eyes like you're a woman just with the compliments, like no, that'll make me feel very uncomfortable. Me as a woman, it's okay for a woman to be like, okay, you look good, you look really nice, or damn, you look nice. But for you to just be like every 5 minutes, like, hey, you are so beautiful. I'm like, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? What's up? Or is there anything that you're trying to insinuate? Like, and you don't want to say it, but I need to know, like, what's going on? You can't keep going, giving me compliments and you're not saying nothing. Like, what you trying to say?
Or you can't keep going on like you said, giving me compliments, And then I'm not taking it no direction because ain't nobody gonna keep saying the same old thing. Like, all right, I heard you one time. I appreciate that. I know I got nice skin. I appreciate you. But now it's coming off as an attraction.
Now you want to use my shit.
You know,
You want to use
and
my
you know,
content.
Yeah,
now
but it's a good point because it's a fine
it
line
is, and I even said
to
that when we was on the
being
show. Like, I ain't gonna lie though. Like in the beginning, you know, when you said it, I was like, dang, I ain't believe Justin was gonna say it like that. You know what I'm saying? But it made you feel uncomfortable. Not that the guy was actually gay or being gay,
He
or
made
but he just made a gay move though. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean he in the act of gayness, because you ain't gay until you actually gay. But ain't nothing wrong with complimenting somebody. But if you continue to compliment somebody and addressing somebody, then it's no longer a compliment. Now you're attracted to me. Now I'm feeling like you want to come on
yeah.
to me.
But
So
but that's something I think, and the only thing that I think is probably something that you should have addressed with it. If a man compliments you, right,
Mm-hmm.
it is something you address right then and there,
yeah,
right? Overly compliment. It's one thing for if I admire a brother, like, oh man, you look good, bro.
yeah,
I ain't gonna say, oh, you a handsome man. I just don't feel comfortable saying that to another
yeah,
man.
Right.
I mean, you look sharp. I might say that. I ain't gonna compliment any features on your face.
yeah.
I might say, hey man, that haircut you got
Oh, that's
is tight.
nice. Yeah,
Man,
I
Right.
feel you.
your beard look good. I want my beard like that or something like that.
You're not gonna bring it as a
It's just
lust. You're
certain
not gonna be
things.
like, oh, I'm lusting, because the way the compliment was made, it was like a lust. You know, like, ooh,
Right. So if a
ooh,
man say like, "Oh man, you got beautiful skin," I'm like,
yeah.
another man tell me I got beautiful skin,
Are you selling me
I might have
something?
an issue
Like,
with
what's
that.
going on? Are you
Yeah,
selling
Like,
products? Like,
what
what's
you
up?
mean?
yeah,
You
You know what
mean
I think it is, man? You know what I think? I think, on the first part of men compliment men with Gil and Roman, I share that I think that it's not normalized. So because it's not normalized
It may-
in all regions, so like on the West Coast it's normalized, but in the South it's not.
That
Hold on. Let me finish. And I say that because I've seen, I've heard. Let me correct myself. I've heard, of that being the norm here in California, whereas in the South it's more of the context.
yeah.
So
Intentional.
I like when I interviewed Gil, he was saying in Colombia, he's a black man he's from Colombia, and so he was saying in Colombia it's normalized, for men to compliment men, but they might do it on like accessories or something you're wearing, whatever it may be. But in Colombia, they feel your head up. They feel the men head up. So that's why a lot of them got the big head, and I could be wrong on that part. But that's the gist of it. So I think that if it gets normalized, where a man can just be comfortable in his own skin without trying to hit on you and be like, bro, you're a good looking brother. Dang, man. Or man, I'm trying to get my body like that without it having to come off because it's not normalized is what I'm saying.
Well,
Look,
I don't think it's not normalized in the South, and I think because it is actually a lot more common than people think. But there are people that might go overboard with it. Like there are certain
That
things
is true.
as a man you just don't
they
compliment about another man.
That's true.
And that's
You
no
can
different
compliment a
from a
man on his
woman.
physique. Yeah. And you can compliment a man by his physique. I'm like, damn, bro, you ripped.
who your gym is?
That's how you
Where you
gonna
go?
say it. You ain't gonna say like, oh
Yeah,
man,
I
I love
agree.
your muscles,
It's
man. Your muscles look good.
Man, let me get like that.
Like,
What type of exercise are you doing? Show
like
me
that's
your rip.
that's not
Hey, bro, you right though. You right. It's the
that's
context.
not.
It's the context.
That
I
make a
think
difference.
because I've always,
She rolling.
I've heard men compliment other
She
men
rolling.
growing up.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I've complimented men, but I ain't never tell a man, "Oh, you a good looking brother." I'm like, man, you sharp, man. You looking good.
Right.
So basically, what it sounds like for men is we compliment each other in an indirect way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think
Okay.
when a man compliments another man directly, yeah, that's uncomfortable. for men
that's not used to that
to.
though, because there's really nothing wrong with the man complimenting directly. It's just the words that's being used on that compliment directly. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's
Well,
the
I
whole
guess what I'm
thing.
saying is it's not a regional
Yeah,
issue, but that's like a masculine
it's just a masculine
issue.
thing. That's gonna
It's a
affect the
masculine issue.
insecurities too. A lot of
'Cause-
people don't know.
right.
Like some people, I'm gonna say it like this. For a perfect example, we as women come off. You got some women like they don't allow that off. Just like you got some men that don't allow that off. So it's a preference
Most
thing. You
men
feel what
don't
I'm saying?
allow that off.
It's a lot of women I know too. Cause you got some women that be down like, oh, she fine or she this and she that. And then you got some women that ain't finna compliment no
All the
woman like that.
time.
Like, girl, that's gay. That's this. That's that. Like, regardless of how you want
That's
to look
true.
at it, like, no, don't do that. Like, no, like one of my homegirls, she didn't play that. I ain't gonna say her name because she's not here. But she like that B word. Don't call her no B. She ain't play that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about order and just that person. It goes back to like I said, it's all about titleism, y'all. Like if you take a title away, what would that be?
Good point.
You know, so a lot of things is all about respect and boundaries within the person. You know what I'm saying? There's just certain things that people just don't like. Those are their standards. That's what they stand on, and that's what they mean. You know what I'm saying? And we as other people have to understand that boundaries are boundaries to people. Well, we feel like that might not be a boundary. They feel like that is a boundary. So we got to be understanding and be
Yep.
respectful of what other people's boundaries
Yep.
are, because I can't prove your boundary is this and this. That's your proof. That's like an exception. It's exceptional. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
But I think the thing that you got to think about is, people don't know they are crossing boundaries unless you let them know.
that's true. So
And I
that's
think
why
that's
it's
where a
best to
lot of
be.
Or they
things
body language shows
Oh
it.
yeah, true.
can get out of hand. Well, not everybody reads body language well. So
Nah.
sometimes
True.
you just may have to
That's true.
Yeah,
verbalize
no,
that
it
shit.
ain't that they don't read it on there. It's just that people don't pay
Hold up.
attention to it.
Right.
Hold up,
Same.
Faye. You guys, what you got something to say, Faye? What you about to say? I see it. What's that?
That's people just don't. A lot of people don't understand body language, and if you don't understand body
There
language,
you
then
go.
you really don't understand the conversation that we're having, because body language is really 80% of the conversation.
Yeah.
I can be telling you
That's the
something,
truth.
but my body language is going to deliver the message.
That's not all true. That's not all true. When I went up to upstate New York, let me tell you, New England folks know how to mask everything. I don't know, maybe it could, because I can be naive at times too, a lot of times. But when I was up there, I was assuming I had told Caitlin, I was like, man, it's nice. Nobody knows I'm on the show, It's cool. Whole time, the whole party
Yeah,
knew.
they just ain't saying it.
But they,
Well, hold on, but that just means you may not have noticed their nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
remember,
that's why I
it's
said people
one
do.
thing
You
to
just don't
be
pay
able to
attention.
understand body language. It goes right back to what Faye said. Like, you ain't gonna know everybody's cues. So,
that's a good point.
I think that's why sometimes you have to verbalize your boundaries,
Right.
because nobody's gonna know that they're crossing your boundaries unless you verbally tell them, because they might not pick up on your body language, your nonverbal cues. That's why I like what Faye said, because it's, and what Tyesha said, because it speaks to, you have to set your boundaries,
Right.
but you also gotta know, when you gotta verbally express your
And then,
boundaries.
yeah, you like you say, it's a time and a place for it, because sometimes you can express yourself and make yourself directly known, and then you'll be pushing away a lot of network too, or a lot of beneficial help for yourself, because of what people because people not ready for acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay if they do it. It's okay for them to do it, but when you do it, it's a problem. That's a true statement right there. I mess with that song. I love it. It wake me up. I ain't gonna lie. Every time somebody do something, but when it's addressed to you, then it's a problem.
Oh, when I do it, it's a problem when I do
But when they do
it.
it, it's all good.
That's what I was
Well,
thinking about too.
because that's the thing, man. People don't really recognize stuff unless they on the receiving end
And
of
that's what
something.
I'm.
So when
That's
you
And
on
that's
the
true.
what.
receiving end of shit, now everything's a problem.
Yeah, and that's what Justin. And that's kind of like why I'm feeling like where Justin coming from. Most of the time, people do see body language. A lot of people just don't be recognizing of it in the moment. And then as soon as you recognize it, that's when you get in defense mode. You're like, oh Lord, here you go. Okay, now I got to see this. Now I got to act like this. Now I got to pay attention to see if it's this. You know what I'm saying? Because like when he first
Yeah.
got there, he didn't notice it. And then that's how body language start for real. Ain't nobody gonna let you know that they know you. You gonna know
That's
that.
facts.
You
That's
gonna be
true.
like, I'm speaking from experience. I mean, like, I bartended the party last night, and everybody was waiting on me, and I didn't even know they was waiting on me. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
But
So
I think it's easier to notice people's cues when you know them. When you don't know a
I ain't know
person,
them
You don't
people.
you
know
don't
them
know.
before.
I know,
That's
I ain't
true.
know 'em.
but you wouldn't know that you wouldn't know that they're verbal cues to say like, oh, that they recognize
No,
you.
it's not that
It's
they
probably something going
recognize.
on
It was just
internally.
the fact that, okay, all right, just not to take the subject off of Justin or nothing or that particular. It was just the fact that, okay, when I walked in the room, they didn't know if I was a bartender or not. You get what I'm saying? But I knew I was the
Right,
bartender. So what I'm saying is, it'll bother you first. So like with Justin, when he walked in that room, it was bothering him. Not that it bothered him, but it was uncomfortable for him. Like, dang, okay, now I'm comfortable because I see that nobody knows that I'm on this show, or ooh, I can be relaxed. But the moment he found out that nah, they did know who you were, they just didn't acknowledge it in the moment. You get what I'm saying? They probably did it,
right.
and they might didn't even show a body language. They just probably did it secretly.
Well, they're not uncomfortable, so they're not going to show a
That's
body
what I'm
language.
saying.
They were smart. What I'm saying is they could have been reading Justin's body language or
Yeah,
wanted to make sure that he was comfortable before they acknowledge
yeah,
something. And then
yeah.
once they, you know, I mean, but like I said, they may have noticed your body language, but not every person is. Some people are aloof. They don't pay
Attention to
attention
it. Yeah.
to body language or understand different people's
You're
cues
right. You're
because
right.
everybody will miss the mark on
You're
something.
right.
And if you didn't put off uncomfortable vibes, then they probably would have just bombarded you with it. But if they felt like you may have been uncomfortable,
Yeah, maybe they. Yeah,
they
that's
were
what I was
probably
trying to
able
say.
to
Yeah,
read
you're
your
right. You
cue.
took that was exactly what I
Yeah,
was trying to
I get
explain.
what you're
Like,
saying. I
it's like
understand now.
just like he didn't give. If he would have gave off the persona, you feel what I'm saying? Maybe so. It's like they was
Yeah.
careful with him. Like, okay, I know this guy is from this. Then they already know about him from the show being emotional or this and this. So they probably trying to be careful off of his character from the
That's
show.
a good
You get
point.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and then just like me, when I walked in that room last night, I'm like, ain't nobody knew I was the bartender, but I knew I was the bartender, and I knew I was late, and I know they were ready to get drunk. They couldn't get drunk unless I fixed their drinks. So I'm trying to hurry up and tiptoe myself in the room, to comfort my people. Because I know they ready to get comfortable. They ready to let their hair down. They ready to get loose. So no different from Justin. They probably was ready to ask questions and, intervene and do this and do that or however the case may be. But by them not knowing him, they respected him and his boundaries. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to, like you said, they
Hmm.
ain't going to come up to him and roll ram them like that. Everybody had their own way of doing things. I just think a lot of times
Like,
we as people need to be more respectful of people's decisions.
and I think a good example. I think one day me and Justin was on the phone, and Justin had some fans roll up on him.
I don't need to see your fans because I might cuss them
And
out.
no, actually, it was like an actual fan of
Oh,
his.
okay, a good fan.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. And we on the phone. He was in the park. I'm listening to, and I'm hearing the conversation. The dude talking about how much he wanna, him and his wife love the show, really appreciate it, what he put out there, and I think it's something to be said about somebody that can go on television and allow, you know, uh, the world to see
Yeah, that's what
everything
I
and
told
deliver
Justin.
those emotions.
Yeah, because you know what, Justin, you
So
open the doors for a lot of men. And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. Like, not to try to bring your show up, and because I know you can't have your show, but like even
It's
when
all
you
good. It's
going
all
on
good.
there, like that's national TV. That's the world to see. The whole world. You know how much balls it takes for somebody to go on the show, to be vulnerable, to show their vulnerableness, and still be a
hmm
man, and not care about what the world say. Yeah, it bother you, but you still stand tall with your woman on the side of you. No, you ain't gay. Yeah, we can say you gay all day long. We can think you gay. We can think this. We can think that. We can hypothetically assume whatever the hell we want to assume. But you pick it. You know what you want. You have your standards and you stand on it. And those are the great ethics about you and more that I love. Feel what I'm saying? You stand strong to who you are and what you are and what the fuck you, and God forgive me for cussing, but what you mean. And that's order. And that's what starts with God too. God, that's what God look at from us. Order. You gotta stay in order. Prioritize your steps. Keep your order together. Because if you ain't
You
got order,
know,
you ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
So some
What I
men feel
appreciate
like
that.
they
I
can't cry.
appreciate y'all.
You know, I had a young man to tell me the other day who I want to come on your podcast so bad, and I'm gonna give you his number because my friend he be going through so much, and that man feel like he can't cry. He don't feel like he can show that side of him because, like you said, Donnell, it's the respect thing. You know, no woman not gonna respect. And he even said he was like, my baby mama see me cry, she gonna think I'm a wimp. She gonna think I'm a punk. But like I told him, that's a lot of younger generational women. So we stereotyping when we say that because all women are like that. I know a lot of women that are like for a man to show some type of emotion. It's just to let them know, like, okay, he can understand me. You know what I'm saying? Just to show that it's okay to be that way and still be a man and stand tall. You know, like that make a difference because there's so many men out here that don't know how to cry, that want to cry, and they can't cry because they don't want to be judged by the next man or the next woman. You feel what I'm saying? Or she an alpha female and she thinking she got a pump because when alpha females get in the way of that, you know, like we don't know how to console our men in that way. Cause we like, damn, I need you to be stronger than me. You ain't being stronger than me, and that's what you was running to.
Well, yeah, I think when it comes to that, as far as men being able to cry, it, I, like with everything, I think there's a balance,
Yeah,
and you have to allow. Um, you just can't dump your emotions on any
but he
person
jumping
because
on
not
the.
everybody's equipped.
Yeah, that's true.
Not everybody's equipped to handle it. And if somebody sees you as a and I think, and this is where that whole thing with men and emotions come, because you don't want your woman to feel like she has to carry your emotions as
Along with
well as her
her.
emotions, you know. So you just kind of gotta find that sweet spot of being able to be vulnerable, and the question becomes like, what are you being vulnerable with? Like, what is touching? You got to really try to start dealing with root causes of stuff because yeah, it becomes an issue if you're crying or showing your emotions all the time, and then now you put your woman in the same position that most men feel like, well, I can't be emotional because now I got to worry about my man being emotional, and if I'm putting that on, if she's not wanting to put that on you, where's she gonna release that? You know what I mean? So I don't. I'm not saying that men don't have an issue with showing emotion because it's definitely an issue because we're raised like, hey, especially as a man in the South,
Yeah,
like, hey,
don't cry, don't do
no,
this. Talk, toughen up. Yeah,
men in general are not accepted to be crying or showing
yeah,
emotion. It is not
exactly.
acceptable for men to cry in society.
But that's
That's an absolute
but
truth.
that's the curse that need to be broken, and that's what I'm speaking about, and that's what Justin did. Like you broke
Hmm.
that curse because it shouldn't be a balance. If that's the case, like we at the
I
end of the day,
agree.
we're human, and when God created the spirit, what was the spirit? Was the spirit a female or a male? So
Well, like I
therefore, we
said,
can't distinguish like that
it
goes.
goes back it goes back to the person that you're choosing to be vulnerable with.
Yeah,
Because you were vulnerable with the wrong person, they are going to take that as a weakness and they are going to use it against you and they
yeah,
are going to attack you when you're at your most
yeah.
vulnerable. So that's why I'm saying when you choose to release those emotions, because at the end of the day, your reaction to your emotions is your choice. You
True.
know, like I cry, and I read this book by Michael Basin called Men Cry in the Dark, right? Nobody will see me cry, and I go into a dark room and I let all those emotions out,
Yeah.
scream, yell. Like when I was going through my first divorce and I was feeling all emotional, nobody saw me cry. My ass was in the gym every day,
Yeah.
and while I was working out, all of that rage I was feeling and all that built up emotion was coming out through my
That's why
exercise
you
and
was so
rage. And at
fine.
night,
You was fine. Got
yeah,
that real
and at night
fine.
I go home when I'd be at home, and I think Justin was living with me during this time, but when he was out and about, while he was gone, I'd be bawling my motherfucking eyes out, getting everything out because it was when I felt safe. And then, but I wouldn't tell nobody what I was going through, or when I was homeless for a year and some change. Like nobody knew what I was going through. I wore that, because I didn't want anybody to see it until I started going to therapy, and
Till you heal.
I found someone to release too that I didn't feel, that I didn't feel like I had to hold up a reputation for. And I think that's the other thing when I get back to when we go back to the respect part, you feel like you got to hold a reputation for certain people.
Yeah.
So you don't let them see all of those vulnerabilities, all of those weaknesses, no matter how close you are to them, because you don't want them to see you other than
who you are.
what you present. Yeah.
But you let the world see, Justin. That's power, bro.
Yeah,
You let the world see that
Yeah.
you was vulnerable. You let the world see where they can attack you at the same time. But guess what? You still in control of that. That's why when
That's facts.
you in control of that. So that's what makes it great. And like I said, you open doors for people who feel that they can't, and they can. That's the principle. Like, because like I said, so many
Yeah.
men. I know people who done kill people, and they probably, he like, man, I done killed people for no. He like, I ain't had no reason to kill him, but I killed that nigga. I mean, killed the man. But he did what he did in the moment that he did it. Did you do your time for it? Yeah. All right, then. Now you got to forgive yourself, brother. Because the more he keep talking about it and crying about it, I mean, he ain't, he want to release it. It's so much pain on him. He want to release. He want to be forgiven.
There's different ways of crying. That I feel like that's what society needs to understand. There's so many different levels,
It's
different
language.
behavior. Let me correct myself. Yes, hold up. There's different styles of crying. It's not always just tears. So like I'm real analytical when it comes to social media because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying when I was working, but I feel like people cry in their posts. They when they share stuff that they feel it connects with them, internally, and so they share it. But I feel like there's just different behaviors of crying, different styles of crying. Like you said, down there, you go in a room where it's nobody in there, you know what I'm saying, and you release that shit. Some people might like, or you go to the gym, you release it. So it's different styles. So I feel like I think people just need to be more emotionally aware, including myself, to recognize when somebody's crying out for help or crying out, you know what I'm saying, in general.
Yeah, most definitely.
I just feel like you have to be emotionally connected with yourself before you can be emotionally connected with someone else. And I feel like
That's true.
if anytime something bothers you or someone says something that kind of hits home and you're still crying about it, you're not healed from it. Me, for example, it's stuff that still hit home for me to where somebody else can be talking about something that hit home for me and I start crying. I haven't learned how to control my emotions. You see what I'm saying? As far as when to cry, when not to cry, and people seeing you being vulnerable. Like Donnell said, some people see that and be like, okay, well, I understand. Some people see that and be like, well, hey, I'm going to use that as a defense method for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's a double-edged sword when you showing your emotion and trying to express yourself.
Yeah, it is, because it's like you don't know how to receive it now, because people know where they can hit you at. You know what I'm saying? Then you don't know when it's genuine and when it's not. And now you got to put this wall up. And when you put that wall up, it's like, damn, you don't know who you knocking down that might really be for you. But we done showed that vulnerability to the world now. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's still a give and take because you in control of it. Now you even more in knowledge. Which that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You in knowledge of it now. It ain't no way for you not to be. So you just got to, like you said, it's about the balance in you. You got to have a relationship with God first. In order to know yourself, you got to know who created you. So once I feel like we develop that, you know what I'm saying, and that emotion itself, like my worst thing, y'all, I ain't even gonna lie. I know right from wrong, but I like the wrong.
Well,
That makes sense.
Interesting.
I mean,
That's
like,
interesting.
for a perfect example, this my new slang, battle. It's battle right now. Because I battle with my flesh and my spirit. Like, my spirit speak one way in love. And my brother made me realize that when we was down, he was like, Tyesha, you speak good, but you don't walk your walk. And I don't. No, and that's bad because I know greatness, I know prosperity, I know that. You feel what I'm saying? But my flesh like, Tyesha, you do this, and with me having my love and my grace, I'm do what I want to do because I can. But I know better, so I need to be obedient. And a lot of times we don't even be obedient within ourselves. Just like, that's how a lot of things need to start. Obedience within us. We got to be obedient. And I don't like being obedient. I like doing what I like to do when I want to do how I want to do it. That ain't good.
She's
It
a
goes
rebel.
back to free will, though.
Yeah,
He gave us
but
free will.
he gave you
You
free
have free
will, but the
will.
free
You
will
know,
is
right and wrong.
knowing better though. You did, and that was my trick. You feel me? I know I got free will, but it's not about the free will. The free will is here. It's given. Your choices, and it's also the consequences in your choices.
Your
So, but
actions,
when you
right?
know right, you do right. You're supposed to do
Mm-hmm.
right when you know right, but when you know right and you still
Like you supposed to, and you're right, because when you know right, you're supposed to do right. But do we always do right?
no, we don't. That's
Wrong.
what
Sometimes
I said.
wrong feels so good. Right feel like it's hell to just. It's
Yeah,
so hard to do right and to just stay on the steady path of what you know you're supposed to be doing. But then it's wrong over here. Just feels so good. It ain't right, but it's right. But it ain't.
it
But
ain't
it's
right,
good.
but it's
You
good.
know.
But that's the spirit, like I said, the
I
flesh.
can't relate.
That's the flesh. That's not the
It's
spirit.
the
That's the
flesh.
flesh.
No, that's why I just stated. I still battle with that. So, like I'm saying,
Like
so in
because we
life,
know we not.
you know what I'm saying? In life, that's what people be dealing with. And we don't really see how we project that out on other people internally. You feel what I'm saying? Like we be going through what we be going through. And then we dealing with what we dealing with. And then you going on in life, and then next thing you know, you finna project what you got going on off on somebody else, because I
Somebody
don't
else.
know what you dealing with on the side your head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's when all these emotions, because I don't want nobody to think we jumping subject, because it's still these emotions going on. So
Right.
that's why you feel the way you feel most of the time, because you be dealing with your own inner self. You get what I'm saying? So you get triggered.
How many? Okay, I got it. That's another question I got for you because that's another topic that's for a few episodes from now. But inner emotions. How many people you think living around or just living in this world that's got these deep inner thoughts or
Everybody.
inner
I
emotions that
say
they don't
everybody.
that
That's
they
why we.
don't. But hold
Oh,
on, wait a minute, hold up. They got these inner emotions, but instead of working on them, they projecting them on everybody else.
A
oh,
lot of people.
And the reason I say that, let me hold on. The reason I say that is because I want to keep it real. So sometimes I have to process what I'm about to say because I don't want to sugarcoat nothing. I feel like people project without recognizing the consequences of how it affects the other
oh
person.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like for example, my experience on Married at First Sight. You know what I'm saying? I showed my true self, and I was okay with that. And Donnell helped me with that. To an extent when he was just standing, despite how it's looked at. And I was like, you know what? Like kind of like you said, when you take that right road, it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through all this versus if you take the road you're not supposed to, you can get there a little fast and be like, you know what? I'll take the consequences that come with it.
Right.
It's like,
That round feels so good, man.
oh, I love that. I love that. That's gonna be beautiful on there. They're gonna be like, we know what they're doing.
Yeah, but
um,
no, y'all.
but like, how many? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the internet ripped me a new one, and I feel like also the internet was projecting, even though I was sharing my truth. You know what I'm saying? They didn't realize how I felt like their inner thoughts was being projected onto me.
Yeah.
And so
And that had a lot to do
it
with
seems like
your emotions. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, sometimes, not to cut you off, but to go back to what we were saying,
no, it's all good.
that had a lot to do with your emotions. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you express yourself to the world, and you got people watching these shows. Now you got a whole fan club. You got people watching you. You got people feeling, and they giving their opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Opinion is just like an asshole. Everybody
But
has.
it's different to say that, but to deal with that though.
So
You get what I'm saying? But when you're an
I
emotional
love it.
person, you wear that on your shoulder. So it ain't no ass.
Yeah,
It's a lot of assholes on your shoulders now.
a a lot of people shitting
Yeah, a
on
lot of
you,
people
and
got shit
that's
on you.
Right.
that's
So if
that's
like
what a
it's
lot of
hard
people
to try to
shitting on you.
keep that clean, you gotta keep that clean. So in order to keep
Yeah.
shit clean,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta deal with it.
You got to
You
shower.
gotta
So,
shower.
and you know what? That's actually a really good analogy. You
Right.
need to shower yourself every day
Yeah,
with
yeah,
affirmations,
yeah. So
and that's how you clean yourself from the shit that you consistently get. But I think a lot of times, man, people be in a lot of shit. It's
basically,
easy to project.
I love
It's easy to
y'all.
project,
I love
and
y'all.
a lot of things when the internet started ripping you a new one. I
Yeah,
mean, some people were just seeing a lot of the same issues that they were struggling with, you know. And like I said, it's not. I won't dismiss everything that people say in the internet because sometimes you can find some little nuggets
yeah,
Yeah.
in there,
Oh
things
yeah, for
that
sure.
you can
And
see because people are even though they're projecting what's in themselves, they're projecting this. They're relating to you exactly what
went
they're
through.
going through,
Yep.
what they feel like, and probably a problem they have with
So that's
themselves.
why I said
Right.
it
You
stuck
know.
is that why I said a lot of times when emotions
Hmm.
come and they come out, it really don't be really just you. It be something somebody else dealing with for real, and it'll take
Right.
another
Right.
vulnerability for it to show. And it might not show in the way yours showing, but for you to show it, they're like, "Woo, I can, hoo." You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's crazy because
And
that's how,
that's why I think you get into projection.
yeah,
Right. And
People are
the thing,
not just, I won't just simply say projecting, but they're relating.
relate,
They're
yeah,
looking in the
right.
mirror and seeing something,
yeah,
Right.
right? And now they're expressing the anti, so they don't have to face their own shit.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And see, that's
Say
like
that shit, bro. Oh,
when
I
we
can't
go to
clear my bed.
about emotions. Like you got people, like you say, people that go through real life crisis and they don't know how to express their emotions or deal with it, so they project it off on another person. Prime example, me. I went through
Hmm.
an abusive relationship for 5 years just because somebody was their inner anger. They were angry with themselves. They didn't know what they wanted. It wasn't me. I can honestly sit here and say it was not me. But when you don't
But
know
that
and
don't
when
help
a
you
person
at that
doesn't
time.
express their self, you know what I'm saying, and let you know what their inner person is saying and what's really going on with them, you don't know what to think. You don't know how to deal with it, and a lot of times we bottle that up because we don't want to be judged. Let me say that we don't want to be
Hmm.
judged on how we really feel and what we really been through. So we bottle all that up on the inside, and we project off this mad person or this disrespectful or this loudmouth or whatever people may say or think about you. You project that off simply because your emotions is bottled up because you don't know how to really express yourself because you've never been able to express yourself. When you do, it's a problem. Somebody got something to say about this. That goes back to me, and like men are taught they're supposed to wear their emotions on their sleeve, but at the same time, I got to accept my spouse emotions. I got to wear her emotions as well. I got to be strong enough for when she having a bad day or when she bitching or going through whatever she's going through. I have to be strong enough to say, okay, I got to deal with that too. So men are really not able to say, hey, babe, I'm having this XYZ going on with me without being like, am I putting too much on her because I'm supposed to be helping her deal with what she has going on. But now I'm projecting what I got going on her. Like how is that? And a lot and I wouldn't even just say me and just people. A strong individual, a strong minded individual anyway tends to shut down before they project their anything that's negative off on the next person.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point that you make because the I don't want to say the so-called alpha female, right? But those loud mouths, those you know yellers, or however you want to characterize them,
It's
are
soft as
really like
water.
they got
We
that
soft.
hard shell on the outside, but they real mushy on the inside. So in order to protect that, that's like a clam shell.
Right.
They got that hard shell on the outside, so they can protect what's inside because that's easily pierced and easily damaged.
Right.
So they have to have that. So when you don't have a balance as a partner, like you got to be gentle with a clamshell. You can't just force it open. But
Right.
there's some things you can do and get that thing, and it opens right up for you, and you get to nurture it and take care of it. Be gentle, but be stern. Be strong at the same time.
Hmm.
And that's why I say it's not just so much of not showing emotions with your partner, just knowing when you need to be strong in what you're expressing. But this is an opinion. I mean, me and me and Keisha, we're trying to understand each other's love language. So we just took this quiz called the 5 love languages, right? And this is where I got the projecting thing from, because I'm projecting my love language onto her. You know, what I value, and expecting her to value the same thing that I value, and getting emotional and kind of minimizing how she feels, because my value should, not intentionally, but internally, my value supersedes hers. You know, this is a lesson I'm learning today after taking the quiz and listening to this damn video, you know, about marriage counseling and the 5 love languages. So I'm expressing all of my stuff through like calm and dismissiveness versus
There's an echo.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Probably because I'm back on here.
But you get my gist.
Hello.
You know, I think it's a fine line we walk when we're talking about like emotions and knowing when to express them. Because I don't think it's just a free for all. My personal opinion, it shouldn't be just a free for all. You should, you know, be selective at time and place, because if you express emotions at the wrong time, you might not really be expressing your true emotions. Shit might be coming off the wrong way, and then you might not be catching that person at the right time to where they can accept your emotions in a way that's going to be comforting for you, but instead throw gasoline in the fire.
Let's start with this. Let's start with just expecting people to just know and just tell people what it is you want and how you need to be loved. Stop expecting for a man or a woman to just know what you want. They don't. We're human.
You said a mouthful with that one.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people need to be open to receiving too, you know, because I could be telling you how to love me, but you still be missing that shit. God forgive me for cussing, but you know, a lot of times people don't be receiving to things, and then they want to receive things the way they want to receive it, and not to be negative, but it's reality. You know what I'm saying? I could be telling you all day long, but you still trying to tell me, well, do what I want to do what I want to do. Well, who gives a fuck about me now?
and that's
when do I and when I'm a matter?
I understand.
And that's absolutely
so
true.
You know, you got to start, like it's still, like you said, at the back of to the back to it still start within the self of that person. Because once you learn yourself, you love yourself, then you gonna know how to project how you want somebody to love you, man. And then they either gonna get with that program or they ain't, brother. You feel me? So I'm learning that now. In my marriage, I've been married for 10, almost 11 years with this man. And shit ain't been easy. So, you know.
That was a mouthful, because you hit it on the spot right there, being able to receive. Because I know I've been missing shit for the last few years.
I know I have, cause like even when I went in that little thing we went to, it was fun, you know, cause I ain't really understand what a love language was. I ain't even know how I really wanted to be loved. You feel me? And then when I learned how I wanted to be loved, and I started expressing to my husband how I want him to love on me, like, I could do that, you know. Okay, like you said, Faye, you gotta tell them. All right, now I know how I want to be loved, because at first the love I liked was toxic. I thought that was love at first, so you know, those emotions.
That's normalized though.
Well, I thought you brought up a good point, Ty, about being able to receive. Because if you would have told them at a different time, you might not have been in the space to receive it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, things have to happen to put you in a space to receive it. Like, it's a situation I'm in now. I'm in a very different space to be able to receive, you know, my wife telling me how I need to love her. Mm-hmm. You know, that matters. And you know, while Faye didn't bring that point up, yeah, you need to tell them, but you also, it's like a twofer. You guys both of y'all, it was a mouthful, but that right on point.
Yeah, because, you know, you don't be
You
want to
also
be
mentioned
feeling
something.
empty, you know, at the same time. It's like, I ain't trying to be an alpha woman and be forceful and tell you this how you supposed to make love me, this how you supposed to love me. But I want you to listen to me and know, like, okay, well, baby, you know, I know you love me, but the things you do or the things you say or how you move or how, you know what I'm saying, or how you say don't make me feel that way. So if I ain't gonna feel it, you know, in that confidence, and you know what I'm saying, and know that you're gonna lead me in the right way, like I'm gonna be like kind of fishy. I don't know. I might have to go get me another whole lady. I mean, another husband or something. I don't know. You know, just gonna be wishy washy. Is that Caitlin?
You see your sister? Yeah,
Hey, Caitlin.
she's working.
Oh, she working hard.
No, that's her Instagram.
Oh, okay. She's so pretty, Justin. I love her.
Yeah, she's.
I love her soul. She's a beautiful soul. But you know,
Yes, she is.
she like Caitlin is like a perfect example. Look at Caitlin, like she know how to move you. You know what I'm saying? Like she know how to like take anger when just in that anger, she know how to decrease it. She know how to talk to him in a way and be like, you know what, babe, do what I don't know what she be saying because don't nobody be in their business, but you see it. But you can see the relaxation in his muscles come down, you know what I'm saying, from his forehead to his cheeks. And that's a great thing to know that you have an emotional comfort from her like that, because everybody can't have it.
That's true.
So, you know, like I said, it starts within yourself, and within you're allowing yourself to be that way with her. You get what I'm saying? Because you want to be healed. In order to be healed, it comes with correction and obedience. So
nah, you're right. You're definitely right. I some of the stuff I catch myself like sometimes it's not that I'm insecure about it.
No, it's just hard for you to receive some stuff sometimes.
That's true too. Nah, with Caitlin, man, it's definitely different. She has a way of, you know, calming me, and she's just a different type of soul, man.
Yeah, she is. I love her. She's a great girl. You know, I just got to give her the same thing she give you. She's a good girl. She really is. You know.
I appreciate that.
You know, that kind of goes into me because what I was thinking about being in service of your partner and acknowledging their contributions to your life. You know, where they make you better, and being able to celebrate and acknowledge them. And acknowledgement is a big thing. Like words of affirmation is huge. And it's even a huge thing for me, which I didn't realize that much until I took that test. I was like, wow, I didn't realize words of affirmation was so important. It wasn't the number one thing, but it was pretty important to me, you know. And if you can take that quiz, I mean, you know, I would definitely recommend it for any and everybody, because I'm learning a lot. I'm still learning a lot from it in the journey we're going through right now. But it's important to not just simply project how you feel, but also be willing to be ready and willing to receive how your partner feels, because that's going to also dictate your emotions. And men have a tendency to like want to dismiss shit when we don't understand something, and because it's not our language or your language.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Individually, we got to make sure that we're not just listening or looking through our pink shade, our blue shades, but also try to look through the pink shades.
Yeah, well. You hit that on the head, brother.
That's good shit. But yo, look, we're about to wrap up. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to just come on here and share the world, you know, who you are, your perspective, your rawness and your realness. Thank you, and good night.
All right.
See how
Roll Tide, y'all.
All right, y'all. I love you guys.
You didn't get a chance to say bye to Faye.